It's nice. They cover the front, I certain that I don't work well, but they do it. They can sure
Boy, yeah, no, already. Yeah,
and then they can't put in there.
No, you're not.
Otherwise, they want sure.
Look what I got. About 3 of them. 2 of
We
them.
decided it was time to I might become a free swimmer.
Got a lot of
She didn't pay well.
Of course
I
not,
turned in
right?
bills for return.
Don't get paid for them. I get that. I totally get
I
that.
get my.
I like it. I didn't care what
I'll let you guys act like it.
I think that, well, that was, yeah, that was during the chilly morning with the whole bit.
Said they didn't. That third one, now this one, it's got a ribbon disconnected, so I don't know what's going on. Six o'clock, we'll do that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All members are here. We did the opening up for the public hearing for the 2026 budget.
Hey, you guys have got the copy of budget form 3 in front of you, the notice to the taxpayers. The total budget, including all of the home rule funds for 2026 is $2,165,970. It's a little bit up from what it was last year, but a lot of that has to do with those home rule funds, mainly because of the changes in the state legislature. We are kind of hesitant on the general funds and all that because we do not know how the property tax caps is going to affect us in 2026, 2027, and 2028. So that is how it has been advertised. And if anybody has any questions?
Any public comment? Going once?
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries to close the public hearing. Public hearing for additional appropriation for redevelopment. We entered into a contract with a person to buy some land. In that land, it came up that we were supposed to pay them this year $68,500 this year, and then additional that for next year, and we would have to change your budget. So,
Okay, yeah.
any questions? I guess for the purchase of that land. It's the on the southwest side of town. Any questions?
Nope.
Make a motion to, is there a motion on the table to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close public hearing.
One second.
All in favor, say
Aye.
moving into additions and corrections. Yeah,
It'll come
it'll come
next.
Any additions or corrections for the minutes for August 12th?
I make a motion to accept the minutes for August 12th.
Second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Any old business that we have not discussed? Guess moving on to new business, resolution 2025-01.
That is the resolution to accept the additional appropriation for the redevelopment commission in the amount of $28,500.
I'll make a motion to accept resolution 2025-1.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sign that under A.
Is this what goes to the state then?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, there needs to be a closing cost date set for this. Do you want, since you were supposed to be involved in that, do you wish to set that appointment up?
I can as soon as it is approved through the state, and we can't set a closing date until it is. But if you do go by the contract, there's a certain date that it says when payment will be made. Is that, I mean, I'm assuming, I guess Alex isn't even on the phone.
I can call Alex.
Well, I mean, is that how it's supposed to be?
We need to pay it per contract at closing.
Okay.
So once it gets approved through the state, and we're good with it and everything's done, and then, I mean,
It goes by the 60 days from the date of the signing of the contract.
you have to make that payment at closing with the title company, and it has to be wired. The initial first payment.
Did this indicate how long it take for the state to approve that?
It shouldn't take long at all because it's all done online anymore. So it would, if it was lucky, it will take a week at the most.
I just thought that since you're involved to your schedule in the evening or afternoon, if you get some dates or you want to get some dates and forward to you.
Well, let's wait till we get the numbers back and
Yeah,
everybody's
I will.
available. Not everybody's available right now.
It'll be after the 15th. Moving on to waste connections.
So basically, last month you directed me to reach out to Stafford Waste Connections to increase or to expand our contract with them for another 3 years instead of putting that all out to bid. So I think I sent you guys a email stating that they were in agreement. They would like to keep us as customers per their old contract, which those would be at an additional 5% increase in the refuse and recycling in year 26, 27, and 28. So that would make our trash be $18.32 in 2026, $19.23 in 2027, and 2020 and 2028.
Anybody have any comments? I mean, I've not heard any huge complaints compared to years past, so I've been pretty happy with them. Everybody else? Steve, you're in the public daily, so I'll make a motion to accept the increase.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
That's pretty good.
We didn't put it out to bid, so I don't know what it would have been.
But they're good, so.
They have been good to us.
Moving on to reports from department heads. Kim?
I need approval of claims 7755 to 7840, $291,990.68.
I'll make a motion to approve claims 7755 to 7840 and a total of $291,990.68.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Just a reminder that our budget adoption will take place on the 23rd of September at 6 p.m. I also sent out to you guys today, and I don't know if you were able to have the chance to review it. We talked about maybe possibly changing our IT services from the current company that we're with, and I've met with Mapletronics on several different occasions. I sent you their proposal and also their recommendations on where our current equipment, etc. is. I don't know if you had time to review that. If you haven't had time to review that, possibly we can address that at the meeting on the 23rd.
This is the same company that Marcus has switched to. I've talked to them in a couple different meetings. They've been happy about it. Talked to Kim today and also asked her to reach back out to Argus since it's been a couple months now. Seems to be the same situation. They're happy with it. The only thing that I noticed on there was we didn't get a real budget number on the phones.
So they do not do the phone services. So I reached out to Surf Internet today, and they can do our internet phones, and the cost would be $25 per line. I think I have 5 different phone lines that is that way, but
So that does 5 different lines.
would be $125 a
Right, but
month for our
that
phone
bids
service.
like, so you have 5 lines here, but what about PD, what about?
No, that's the PDs. They all come into me. So that would be the PD. It would be the fire department. It would be our fax numbers. And that's pretty well it, because our lift stations, our water plants, all of those are all done through Sensaphone, through the Verizon services there. So it'd be our main lines that feed into here, because there's not a landline phone anymore at the maintenance garage. There hasn't been for years. All that stuff comes directly to us anyways.
Okay.
Is
So,
that cheaper than what we've been paying out?
well, but currently our contract with our current vendor services our phones. So as you've seen, like I said, we pay out around $1,900 a month now. There was 2 different proposals from Mapletronics on that. And it depends if you pay the one-time install upright or if you decide to pay it over a monthly thing. So it'd be $2,028.75 or $2,303.75 a month. And then, of course, then we'll have the additional cost of our phone service then on top of that. Because our phone service is all done through the internet now.
So it looks like we're about, I mean, if we do the one-time installation fee, it looks to me like we're about $150 more plus your internet phone, $128 actually, plus your internet phone. Bill, have you gotten your computer replaced? So
They were in here today.
We what?
They were in here today and took one of them with them. HWC.
So I don't know. Depends on how you guys feel about it. If Kim's happy with him, Kim deals with it. the internet company probably more than anybody. I'm all on board on it. I think there's some concerns with service from our current company. Doesn't mean these guys are going to be any better, but I know that's one of the reasons why Argus left and went to this company. And Kim and I talked to a couple of, well, I know she talked to a couple other, I talked to one other company too, so it's not like we just picked these guys out of the blue. And the same thing went for Argus. They had interviewed several different companies also. So
How's that compare with what we do now?
As in,
Like say monthly,
well, honestly, I mean,
or is it pretty much a wash?
I think it's gonna be pretty much a wash. I don't see my IT people weekly now like I'm supposed to. However, if I don't have an issue, to me, that's no big deal. So, I don't know. I mean, I know Steve had dealt with them here recently and got quick results. I know Bill had some issues on the PD side of it. You know, a lot of mine is all software that is serviced through Keystone anyway. So unless I have a hardware issue, I normally don't have much problems with the technology that I've got now. I know that there was a concern with you guys on that, and that is why I looked into it as you guys directed me to.
So, and this company also, I don't know what the location's concerned of. They've got one in Goshen, Fort Wayne, and Tennessee. So it seems.
And a lot of the stuff, you know, with today's technology, they can do a lot of that stuff remotely.
What's your normal turnaround time when you do have a problem on getting somebody here?
I personally have never had any issues with them coming. Bill, on the other hand, I know has had a lot of issues. However, there's a lot more issues with the computers, etc., like that in the police cars compared to what I have. I don't know. Steve has had to call them on several times with concerns at the water plant, but I don't think you had initially had a lot of issues.
No, they were kind of quick for me. What, a week or so?
What's your preference? You want to try another company?
I'm basically going to leave that up to you guys. I mean, you guys were really the ones that had stressed concerns about our current one, and so that's the direction that is how, however you guys feel like that you want to go. People seem very, very nice. They've got big, I would have a person that would just be in charge of ours, and the guy that's in charge has a team that would be here to take over our concerns. And I mean, I'm not going to say that I can't think that there won't be some bumps in the road changing, because when you go and change at anything like that, it's gonna,
They learn you.
yeah. And if you had the chance to look through that assessment part of it, I mean, our server is really, really old, and so we're going to have some equipment costs, I think, moving forward, and which will just be, kind of spread out. It'll be what they think needs to be first, which I believe is the server, and then go that way.
I make a motion that we pursue the Cabletronics. Seems like it's had a good review.
As far as I know. As far as I've talked to people.
Yeah.
So
I'd make a motion that we pursue that.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I had a concern because here a couple months ago, you guys granted the farmers market to use the park pavilion on Monday nights, So today we had a person that wanted to see the park because they're going to be renting it, and it is a disaster. So I'm assuming they should have followed the rules like anybody who rents it and cleaned up after themselves.
I would
I mean,
assume
what?
so.
Yeah. Because it was, I mean, none of the trash was out of there. I mean, it was ice cream on the floor in there. I mean, it was a disaster
In the pavilion.
in the pavilion. And like I said, I haven't rented, and so of course they were very concerned with them renting it this weekend that, you know, would it be clean before that? So I don't know. Wasn't able to reach out to Chubbs, but I'm assuming that Chubbs are the ones that have been cleaning it, and it should be the people that have the building.
Is there a contact from whoever is organizing the farmers market to contact these people? Or is
Well,
this
I'm assuming that Miss Dillon is the one running the farmers market, right? I mean, I would think that she would be down there during the farmers market to oversee all that if she is.
Is she been made aware of this?
I would have, I mean, Susie, I know Susie is the one that asked for her to have it. I would have assumed that Susie would have told her that that was their responsibility, but
Right.
I mean, that was not, none of that went through my office. That all went around, kind of
Well,
around the block behind
I
us.
think we should reach out and just make them aware. And I mean, it's been a very positive thing in the community. That park a couple times that I've been there has been cool. So I think it's just the communication, follow up.
But I'll just reach out to her and just let her know that that's her responsibility.
Maybe there needs to be a handout given to each one when they come next time. That you're
I'm sure
police your own spot.
I'm sure we'll work through it. Like I said, it's been a very positive thing.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's at, especially. So,
But that might be a good, clean way of communication. Thank you for bringing that up.
That's all I have at the moment.
Chief Martin? Yeah, my monthly report.
Have you gotten new weapons yet? I thought I heard some clinking. Nice, are they? Any instances with cars or anything? That's a positive thing.
is this the only reserves we have? We don't have 5 reserves?
There's 2 goals. Well, one going through pre-basic, they have to test out.
So we'll have 6 reserves?
No, and then Schutzel. Let's see,
Oh, that's who you're talking about.
he hasn't been through the quarter pre-basic, so he can't do anything yet.
Okay. I thought there was more on that list that that's all we have, and we need to remove. I thought there was more on the reserve list.
Anything else, Chief Martin?
Yes, I would like permission to purchase 5 off-duty weapons through the back 40 using our donation fund.
And what's it cost to that?
The cheapest quote we got was $515 per weapon, and Ryan Meister said that he would match that.
What will they be?
Glock 30S.
And this is all donation money.
The magazines will
Interchange.
interchange into our duty weapon.
Nice.
So just 5?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
You know, and thank you to Ryan and Back 40. They have definitely taken care of us through this. So.
Anything else, Chief? No, sir. Steve Walsh?
You guys have our activity reports? I got a quote for curb sidewalk, northwest corner of Harris and Sunset. This is gonna be like kind of contingency to if another project doesn't work. We're trying to add in a storm drain, to a lower area to help control the water. If that doesn't work, we're gonna like permission to put a curb in. What this curb's gonna do is take all the water off the road and go right to the storm drain so it can't pass through it. Quote right now is $21.50. So if that doesn't work, we will look into doing this.
You live in that area, Tim. What's your thoughts?
I'm just here to listen tonight, Les.
Do you have an opinion? Since it's in your water in front of your yard?
I do have an opinion. And I believe Steve's got the knowledge and he needs to be given the opportunity to fix the situation at hand. We've made some changes at the house to help with that. Let's just sit back and see. And I wanted to know that there was something planned, that we were moving forward. I think that whether there's another basin in, I think the new basin will help. I think it will pretty much take care of the problem, period. But I think the other drain also needs to come down. The existing. I'm not a professional tile person, but I know water does not flow uphill.
And with you park in that area, is there curb coming off her?
We do not, no one parks in that area.
Not where the curb's at. So I've personally walked that road. There is no drain on the north side of, correct me if I'm wrong, there is no drain on the north side of Sunset from Washington to Harris, other than that corner drain and one in the center of the intersection for some reason. So all that water is going to run that way. The next storm drain on the west side of Harris, north, is 3/4 of a block, in the middle of a grass area. So my opinion is we do both. And we don't bring the drain down, we tie into the side of the drain with the curbing so that somebody does not, because the original thought process, correct me if I'm wrong, was to bring that up because they put new sidewalks in so that somebody didn't step off the sidewalk and twist an ankle. I'm okay with that. I'm assuming Tim's going to be okay with that, as long as we take that curbing down, tie into the side of the drain where the original depth of the original drain was, and slope it all into it from Harris coming south on the west side and whatever misses the new drain coming east from Sunset on the north side. Plus, that gives them an opportunity, if they do the curb and do a setback with the concrete, gives the opportunity for the snow to be plowed into that corner, drain off and go right directly into the drain.
They use that corner in the winter.
Yeah.
We've got pictures from when the kids were little. That has always held water there. They played in it. It's never been a problem.
Yeah.
So now that we've got a little help, from the new project, which looks great, don't get me wrong. It's added to that, and now it runs across over the sidewalks.
Well, is there a motion then on the table? With this?
I wanna know what your guys' opinion are. I'll second it for sure, but I wanna hear what.
If it's gonna solve the problem for both Tim and for the drainage issue, then I'm for it.
Yeah.
Personally, and I don't think that that's that big of an expense. So I'll go forward and make a motion. We'll move forward with that.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Steve.
I do have one more thing.
Okay.
I just got this quote when I was leaving work today, but I got a quote for a new tapping machine to replace our old one that's breaking down. Last time I used it, it wasn't right. Parts weren't fitting together correctly. But I went through EJP and they have a new tapping machine for $1,631.53. I'm asking permission to
1,000.
631.53 cents. I'm asking permission to order this.
And I'm assuming
I have demoed this with the department, so we actually have hands on and use it. It's a lot simpler than our old machine. Old machine's a big chunk of metal, and this one's more of a handheld device that will go from, I think it's 3/4 inch all the way up to 2 inch. So down the road, if you need to do a 2-inch tap, we just buy the adapter plate.
the quote that you're giving us is only for 1 inch.
Correct, because that's all I need right at this point.
So they will not do 2 inch, you will only do 1 inch taps. I'll make a, is this coming from the water department
This
budget?
is the water department.
I'll make a motion to accept the request to buy the replacement tapping machine at the expense of $1,631.53.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, that's all I got.
One thing I do have for you is, can you give an update on Quonset Hut and the other buildings and where we're at?
So start with Quonset Hut. Yesterday, Jamie Lumley came and tore the building down. So it's now on the ground in a bunch of pieces. They started currently loading it into scrap bins and hauling it away. So tomorrow we're getting our second bin. I think we'll need a third one to finish. After that, then we'll do the concrete removal and then hopefully concrete in October. So we'll do the salt bins first and the floor, and then whole building will be built hopefully in December. That's when they told us. So
they're gonna pour the concrete and then set the building?
So what it is they're gonna pour the walls, the 6-foot walls that go above the ground for the salt. And hopefully they're also gonna pour the floor. That will not support, well, it's not gonna affect the building because the building's gonna sit on top of the concrete walls. So that will be a foundation down the road. But then when they do build the building, they'll pour the concrete for the post. And then in the spring, what they're gonna do is come in and pour the rest of the floors. That's how it was explained to me about that. So they want the building up first, set, and then they'll pour the concrete floors. So we'll be able to have
we're gonna pour to the salt bins?
the salt bin walls and the salt bin floor will be poured this year. So we'll be able to store our salt over the winter and then be able to utilize that bin.
You just won't utilize the storage site?
Correct. And then the west building's complete. The only thing they gotta do is, actually, they gotta do a vent for our furnace, our hanging furnace. And then our office building, they actually put the first coat of paint on the walls today. So next week they are redoing the floors, and Marlon told me, I think he said, like the first or second week of October we should be able to move.
Is that furnace vented for the office?
It's vented out the wall, but the other hanging ceiling one, that needs to go through the ceiling. So.
I'm gonna see whether we got that locked down. Somehow, so we can't.
The furnace, yeah, they're all powered and disconnected.
Thank you.
Chad, Bourbon Fire Department?
7 calls since the last meeting. Nothing's really been happening. Today we're at 102 calls so far for the year, which is, we normally average 89 a year.
Thanks, Chad. Anything else? Susie Schutzel has a report.
Yeah, there was no planning commission or zoning meeting last night. There's been some public complaints. She said her town council's request was her and I's discussion. A letter was sent to Cargill Holdings, 108 South Thayer Street, with complaints about the non-working vehicles on the property. Been given until September 22nd, 2025 to comply with the town ordinances. No bills been in connection with them too. It's not just the vehicles, it's also what the property is being used for. Hasn't met zoning criteria. A complaint for excessive number of cats up there on Schaefer Road. She did drive by, 3 cats, 3 kittens. I did a drive by, I counted 4 front porch, 5 on the back porch. We do have some ordinance stating no more than 3 animals. I think it can be addressed, but we can address it with a letter initially. Don't know where we can go from there. I don't know. There's really a lot to dig into that.
Because there is ordinances that address fees to it.
Is there?
Yes, because I looked into that further today after we had that discussion this morning. Because, you know, that's kind of what you had stated. You didn't think we had any teeth behind it, but there is ordinances that state that, and it is in our Ordinance Violations Bureau portion of it also for the fines. So
that'll be coming from PD then at that point for fines.
At that point, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's addressed both ways. It's addressed in the planning, and it's addressed now by the ordinances. But I did reach out also to the health department today. Nobody answered about what it would be if we would have a contract with them. However, I know that the cats Humane Shelter in Marshall County, yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully, maybe I will have an answer with that. I don't know, probably won't be until next month now before we could maybe discuss that. But I mean, we definitely have to do something, and if we're going to have these ordinances in place,
We need to file.
they need to be addressed.
The other suggestion, how many live traps do we have in the town?
Maybe 4, 5.
And how do we loan those out? Do we give it to
If someone comes in and needs it, Rocky just lets them have it, and then they'll bring it back. So there's no like login or nothing.
because we can follow that, but also if homeowners are gonna have issues, we need to be able to give them the opportunity to remove them. I did follow up with that concern, because last year we had some nuisance animals in our area. If they're on your property, you can address it. So, because what I was asking was, okay, what happens if my neighbor gets my cat, which I don't have a cat, but my neighbor gets my cat and goes get my cat fixed. Well, legally, my cat's not supposed to be off my property. And for 2, once it becomes, once it gets on my neighbor's property, there's nothing I can do about it. So, so then I did look and see what the cost of spaying and neutering, and we had done some of that right from the beginning of the year. Some donations. I know some people did some personal donations, and then also the pizza Bourbon Street donated some money to that also. So I think that's kind of the direction, not only with the ordinances and the fines, but maybe we start looking at trying to promote. If we have people coming in or calling and complaining about the situations. The other thing, she's waiting to hear from Marshall County Health Department about the complaint, some apartments on East Center, terrible unfit living conditions. Apparently, there's a little squabble between landlord and former tenant, but there's been tarp under the.
I don't think that's an issue. Unfortunately, our employees have been in there, and it's not just between one tenant and the apartment complex, I don't believe.
So is it about the water leaking and the unfit living conditions in that aspect, or was it what else are we talking
Unfit living conditions in numerous apartments there.
So again, that's why Marshall County Health Department's been notified. She also, her and I had talked about this, I think last year. A little bit of holding people accountable and people responsible. I don't know if you guys all got a copy of this, but it's the town of Bourbon community complaint form. Somebody actually comes in and actually fills this out, and obviously it can stay confidential at that point, but it not only holds the person filing the complaint responsible, and then we can go to, or whomever can go and get direct answers in the situation. But it is also down at the bottom, it shows that it was investigated to follow up. So we hold people accountable on both ends. She's asking that we maybe adopt this form as part of the normal protocol. It might, I don't know if it'll keep everybody from getting phone calls all the time, but on the flip side of it, it does, if there's a complaint, it's in writing, it's got the address, it's got the name and the person that filed it, somebody needs to follow up. I don't think it's a bad idea. She'd asked that I present that to the board also, to get you guys' opinions and see what you think about moving forward with that.
That would be something to come into the clerk's office and pick up.
Yeah. Come in, fill it out.
And this only addresses issues with the plan and zoning?
No, this is any complaint, so if we got 18 cats, that would go on this file. This would go
And
here.
Susie's taking care of it since it's the plan director at the bottom?
She can hand it over to the PD if it becomes an issue. It's PD responsibility. If you got any suggestions on to make it better, please let us know. But I think right now there's so many I don't know who's responsible. Because PD's doing their ordinance violations, and then there's planning and zoning. So at that point, somebody's going to own it, and somebody needs to follow up with it. Bill, do you have an opinion on it? Because you'd be involved in this too.
I haven't seen the form.
Is there any, you know of any other communities that use this?
I don't.
Or are we gonna be a start?
We may be a start, but there's a lot of communities that have town managers that handle this sort of thing. So, and we don't. So.
Right.
I don't see no problem with it, it's a documentation process.
Neither do I. I mean, I guess if someone makes a complaint to me, I take it out to the clerk's office, get a form, fill it out, turn it in.
Kim?
I don't know, because I know there's a lot of people, I mean, I know it says it's gonna be kept confidential, but I know that there's a lot of people that don't want their name shared with their neighbors because it is a small community and everybody knows each other, and then that ends up causing some issues. So I don't know if you will have people that will follow through on that as much. I would think maybe then we could also put it out on our website, see if it gets in, see if it gets anywhere that way.
Could be a Facebook complaint form.
Well, I mean, it could be added to our
Add a little
Facebook too,
sense
but
of humor.
you add that to the Facebook, it's gonna go crazy, but, I don't know. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, if they come in and fill it out,
We're serious about it.
if they're serious about it, and that's great.
Not because Les is in his underwear and I gotta file a complaint. Now I gotta go down there to just go on and complain.
But if it does address an ordinance violation, then at that point, we owe it to the people of our community to follow through on them, because I think we've got so many ordinances out there that we ignore. And the way I look at it, if you're not going to enforce your ordinances, then what's the purpose of having them? So if you think this is a way of getting them taken care of, then I guess I'd be all for that.
Well, this is where I see this. So if this scenario was all of a sudden Susie got it and it's really a PD thing, maybe we add a line that Bill's taken over at this point. Bill signs it. Obviously, there's going to have to be copies, and then Bill addresses it, or his team addresses it. See an issue with that?
I don't see an issue with it.
This obviously has not worked for how many years? So
And
we
it
got
hasn't, and
So we
that's
gotta
our
do
discussion that
something,
we had.
we gotta do something different, because what we're doing right now is not working.
And it's not working, no, and it gets very frustrating.
Well, it gets,
And I get your baby step comments about it and all of that, but it gets to the point where we're taking these baby steps and it just continues to get worse and worse without anything, it seems like, getting directed or taken care of. So if this is what you guys think is gonna work, then I'm all for it. I'll make sure it gets put on the website and get the information out to the people, and we'll go from there.
I mean, cause it'd be nice for me to be able to see, you know, if there's a problem, I could see it, maybe contact these individuals and say, okay. I've heard a hearsay story through Susie, or whoever. I want to hear it right directly from you, so what's the issue, where we at, what's going on? But if you guys got a better idea, I'm all ears.
Accountability is a good thing. I mean, if a complaint comes in, you just have Steve sign the bottom of it. He took the complaint. I mean, I get that some people's not going to sign it because they just, you know, they don't want it. They don't, you know, they don't want their name out there. But there's going to be a lot of that. We see that a lot now. But I don't see how doing something is negative or trying to make something better.
One thing I agree with Kim on is we do have a lot of ordinances that we don't do anything with. They're on the books,
That's
and
true.
maybe that's the way we need to start turning that around. Maybe this might be an avenue to start doing that. That's how I look at it.
Or an approach to, well, we've got this ordinance, but it really doesn't mean it. Okay, that's our responsibility to make it.
Right, right. That's my take.
On the flip side of that, I mean, we live in a town that we should be graceful, and I mean, we can't just nickel and dime everybody under the ordinances, and you know, you try to be graceful until it keeps being a continual problem, and then you kind of have to zap them. But I mean, that's one of the good things about Bourbon is being graceful. So, I think as a form's a good thing. So,
Is there anything formal we need to do? Do we need to vote it in? Do we need to?
I just make a motion to start using the form and see how it goes. I mean, we can always go a different direction if it's not working.
We got a motion?
I make a motion. To use the form, start using the
I
form.
presented it, I'm not gonna present
I
it.
make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
See what happens. If it doesn't work, because we don't have to worry about it.
But we do have to worry about
We do have to worry about enforcing the ordinances, I get that.
it. Thank you.
The town attorney couldn't make it, so I guess we'll wait till next meeting. I'll take care of this. What, if I set up a meeting in the next couple of weeks, do you wanna attend that meeting and kind of talk to the people about this?
Well, that is your plan on how you're gonna spend your money for 2026.
I get that.
Okay, but I take it you guys already have a plan of how you're gonna spend your money. Okay, so you just gotta have it in that formal writing.
For next year.
You have to have that report.
The other half,
You gave it to me last year, remember, and I uploaded it for you. I need it for 2026. So just go in and make corrections or how you guys are, whatever you guys have discussed and how you're gonna do your spending plan for 2026. I'll be more than glad to upload it and do all that stuff for you,
Using the same form I gave you, it's
just updating it to whatever's, yeah, just modify it
Could
to
you give me
whatever.
a copy of that we gave you last year, just for memory's
Okay.
sake?
I'll send it to your email.
Thank you. Anything else?
Patron comment.
Yeah, I'm just asking for anything else. Patron comments? Council member comments?
I don't have anything.
Did you have something that you wanted?
No, just wanted to touch base and see what.
Is there a motion for the meeting
I'll
adjournment?
make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.